Welcome to Pharmacology Insights, where we break down complex pharmacology into simple, easy-to-understand concepts. The U.S. saw several new and expanded FDA approvals in 2025. But a few stood out. According to the American Journal of Managed Care, the three most read FDA approvals on ajmc.com all shared something in common. They introduced novel mechanisms of action targeting diseases with long-standing unmet needs. Let's break down the top 3 trending FDA approvals of 2025, and, most importantly, how these drugs actually work. In October 2025, the FDA approved Nerandomilast, marketed as Jascayd, for adults with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. This marked the first approval of a truly novel IPF therapy in more than a decade. Nerandomilast targets a key enzyme called phosphodiesterase 4B, or PDE4B. This enzyme is found in immune cells and lung fibroblasts, where it regulates inflammation and tissue remodeling. Under normal conditions, PDE4B breaks down cyclic AMP, a signaling molecule that helps keep inflammation and fibrosis in check. In idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, the lungs undergo repeated injury and chronic inflammation. Cytokines such as TNF-alpha, interleukin-1 beta, and interleukin-6 increase the production of PDE4B. As PDE4B activity rises, cyclic AMP levels fall. That drop has consequences. Low cyclic AMP leads to impaired cell junction integrity, activation of neutrophils and macrophages, and unchecked fibroblast activity with excessive collagen deposition in the lung interstitium. All of which are hallmark features of IPF. In simple terms, the lung loses one of its key internal brakes on inflammation and scarring. That is where Nerandomilast steps in. By selectively inhibiting PDE4B, Nerandomilast prevents the breakdown of cyclic AMP. Higher cyclic AMP levels reactivate anti-inflammatory and antifibrotic signaling pathways. Endothelial barriers strengthen, immune cell activation is dampened, and fibroblast proliferation and collagen deposition are suppressed. The result is a dual anti-inflammatory and antifibrotic effect that slows lung scarring and helps preserve lung function. The approval was supported by data from the Phase 3 Fibroneer IPF trials, which showed that Nerandomilast significantly slowed lung function decline, compared with placebo. In summer 2025, the FDA approved Brensocatib, marketed as Brinspuri, for non-cystic fibrosis bronchiectasis. This was a milestone decision. The first therapy approved for this patient population and the first dipeptidyl peptidase 1 inhibitor approved for a neutrophil-mediated disease. Neutrophils fight infection using powerful enzymes called neutrophil serine proteases, including neutrophil elastase, proteinase 3, and cathepsin G. When first produced, these proteases are inactive, like tools still sealed in their packaging. To activate them, developing neutrophils rely on an enzyme called DPP1, or dipeptidyl peptidase 1. Think of DPP1 as activation scissors. It clips small fragments from inactive proteases, converting them into active enzymes. This process happens in neutrophil precursors in the bone marrow, before the cells ever enter circulation. By the time neutrophils reach the bloodstream, their granules are already stocked with active proteases, ready for deployment. In non-cystic fibrosis bronchiectasis, neutrophils release too many proteases. Instead of just killing microbes, these enzymes chew through healthy lung tissue, driving inflammation and disease progression. Brensocatib changes that upstream. It is an oral, reversible DPP1 inhibitor. By blocking DPP1, Brensocatib prevents activation of neutrophil elastase, cathepsin G, and proteinase 3. Neutrophils are still produced and can still fight infection, but their most destructive weapons remain inactive. In short, Brensocatib reduces collateral damage, reducing airway inflammation and protecting lung tissue. The approval was supported by the Phase 3 Aspen trial, which showed that once-daily Brensocatib significantly reduced the annualized rate of exacerbations compared with placebo. The 25 mg dose was also associated with a smaller decline in lung function. The most trending approval came early in 2025 with Suzetrigine, marketed as Journavx. Suzetrigine is a novel oral non-opioid pain medication approved for adults with moderate to severe acute pain, and it represents a completely new approach to pain control. Pain signals travel along peripheral nerves through Nav1.8 sodium channels, which are densely distributed along pain-transmitting nerve fibers. These channels act like electrical gates, allowing sodium ions into the neuron and generating the impulses that carry pain signals to the spinal cord and brain. Suzetrigine is a highly selective Nav1.8 inhibitor. By blocking these channels in peripheral sensory neurons, Suzetrigine prevents pain signals from being transmitted in the first place. Importantly, it acts outside the central nervous system, which means it does not carry the addiction risk associated with opioids. Supported by data from multiple clinical trials, Suzetrigine became both the first drug in the selective Nav1.8 inhibitor class and the first new acute pain therapy approved in more than 20 years. Together, these three approvals highlight a clear trend: precision targeting of disease biology. Whether that means restoring protective signaling in fibrotic lungs, disarming destructive immune cells, or stopping pain before it reaches the brain. They don't just treat symptoms. They intercept disease at its source. And that's what makes them the most talked about FDA approvals of the year. And that's it for today's pharmacology video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more pharmacology content.